All right, let's jump into a really fascinating story about a piece of technology you see every single day, but probably never think twice about. It's the story of how we solved a problem that was, and this is no exaggeration, literally killing our cities.
It all starts with this simple idea. In the beginning, intersections were open. Just picture that for a second. No lights, no stop signs, just an open square where two roads happen to meet.
And you know, for a little while, that totally worked. When there were only a few cars and carts on the road, people were generally polite. A little eye contact, a quick wave, and you were on your way. But then, cars got popular, and the intersections got very popular. And that's where everything started to fall apart.
Which brings us here, to the carnage of the crossroads. And believe me, that title is not for dramatic effect. In the early 1900s, American cities were facing an absolute bloodbath.
Just look at this number. By 1920, we're talking about more than 12,000 people dying in car accidents every single year in the U.S. In a city like Detroit, they were averaging one pedestrian death a day. And the heart of all this chaos? The open intersection.
So what was the problem? Well, the root cause was shockingly simple. Entering the intersection was free. There was absolutely no cost, no friction, no system at all to create order. It was a free-for-all.
And what happens when entry is free? The whole system breaks down. The most aggressive drivers just bully their way through so they get what they want. Meanwhile, cautious, normal people, they just give up and stay away. Trust completely evaporates. And the crazy thing is, the more popular an intersection got, the fewer people could actually get through it. Being reckless was the best strategy, and being responsible just cost you time and frustration.
Now, of course, they tried to fix it. They stuck police officers out in the middle of traffic to direct cars, but you can't put a cop on every corner, right? It just doesn't scale. They put up signs, stop, caution, but they were basically just suggestions. And social norms, well, those are great until one person decides not to play along. One bad actor can ruin it for everyone.
See, none of that worked because it was all trying to manage behavior. It wasn't fixing the underlying problem. What they needed was a completely new principle. And that principle showed up in the form of something called the Cleveland Signal.
Let's just mark this date because it's a big one. August 5th, 1914. Right there, at the corner of East 105th and Euclid in Cleveland, Ohio, the world's very first electric traffic signal was installed. It looked a little clunky, I'm sure, but it was about to change the world.
The absolute genius of this thing wasn't just the red and green lights. It was the introduction of a small, mandatory cost. For the first time, to get through the intersection, you had to pay something. And that payment was time. You had to wait, a small, non-negotiable bit of friction.
And the results were completely backward from what you'd expect. By adding a rule that forced people to stop, the total number of cars that could get through the intersection massively increased. It's wild. Collisions obviously plummeted, cautious drivers felt safe again, and suddenly trust wasn't about making eye contact with another driver, it was built right into the system itself. This little invention is literally what made modern, dense cities possible.
And the magic of the traffic light really comes down to these three things. First, the cost was universal. It didn't matter if you were in a fancy car or a beat-up truck. A red light is a red light for everyone. Second, the cost was irreversible. You spend 30 seconds waiting, you don't get that time back. It proves you were actually there. And third, the system decided where to put the lights, but you decided if you wanted to drive. Participation was your choice. So, why do we just spend all this time talking about a 100-year-old piece of traffic engineering? Well, because we built another intersection, a digital one, and we made the exact same mistake. And right here is where the whole story snaps into focus. A digital intersection, the same mistake. Think about it. The social media feed, the comment section, a group chat, every place we all meet online is an intersection. And for the last 30 years, we've been running them with no traffic lights at all. The parallels are just stunning, aren't they? The aggressive drivers are now the trolls and the spammers. The police officers who couldn't be everywhere at once are now the overwhelmed moderators. And those road signs everyone ignored, they're now the community guidelines that nobody ever reads. So if it's the same problem, maybe the solution is the same too. This is the digital signal. It's a tiny, non-negotiable cost. It's not about paying a company, though. It's about taking a few tokens and sending them to an address called the fountain, where they're burned. They just disappear forever. And this new system, this digital traffic signal, it's called the Protocol of Light Work, and it is built on the exact same beautiful logic that saved our cities over a century ago. And look, Here they are again, those same 3 properties of trust, just rebuilt for today. The cost is universal. The protocol has no idea who you are and it doesn't care. The cost is irreversible, which proves you're a real live human and makes it way too expensive for bot armies to spam the system. And finally, the placement is authoritative, but you always have the choice to participate or not. It's the same elegant design. The reason you can trust this is the same reason you can trust a traffic light in a foreign city where you don't speak the language. The mechanism has no reason to lie to you. It doesn't know you. It has no agenda. It just runs on pure, verifiable math.
From the traffic light to light work. It's a solution from 1914, reborn to solve the chaos of our modern digital crossroads.
And it really leaves us with this one powerful, kind of paradoxical thought. Whether that intersection is made of asphalt or made of data, the fastest way for everyone to get through it is to prove that you were willing to stop.
And on that mathematical note, we'll leave you with a little sign-off from the original source material. Happy Pi Day!